YouTube, welcome back to Eagles Fantasy Draft Franchise, and this is going to be another installment of Season 3. It's probably going to be Week 2 and Week 3 of Season 3 here. Last week, of course, we had the Game of the Century. Make sure you guys check that out if you haven't seen it already. It was the Game of the Year. I don't know how we're going to top it, but we're 1-0. Still haven't decided if I'm going to do 2 weeks or 3 weeks in this video. We'll have to play it by ear. But one thing's for sure, it's going to be at least 2 weeks, and we have the Bears and the Cowboys. So strap in. It's going to be a good video. I can't wait to play more Season 3. Let's get into it. You know, as you can see, the 49ers, it was just a crazy game. And we're going to advance to Bears week. And the Bears are really good, man. They have Patrick Mahomes. Last year, they were an absolute problem for us, as James Grant is... Oh, it's Caleb Williams. Okay. I thought for sure it would have been James Grant who won Player of the Week, but it's Caleb Williams. That's good XP for him. But like I said, the Bears, this team is a problem. And I'm actually kind of scared to face them. We played them last year. It was a really good game, but they beat us. We do have a press conference here heading into week 2. Let's get into it. Coach, how do you feel about the result in your season opener? Well, very happy with how the players battled. I think that's pretty obvious. Who deserves the most credit? Oh, I mean the offense for sure. We barely got one stop on the 49ers, so our offense was nearly perfect. No turnovers. Which players got the game ball? I mean, I guess we'll go with Caleb Williams, but it really was James Grant who had, 220 yards and 2 touchdowns and 7 catches. He was unbelievable. Trying to get him back up to superstar. Is Caleb Williams motivated by what you said in the press conference? Will receive a +3 throw accuracy deep, medium, and short next week. Beautiful. That's a pretty good press conference. We usually don't have a lot of good ones. First thing we're going to do is take a look at the Bears roster. Something else to note, we did lose Landon Dickerson for, I think it was 4 weeks. He fractured his foot, and so that, that's a big injury, and Laken Tomlinson will take his place. But Patrick Mahomes, he's 30 years old now at this point, but he's got bazooka, X Factor, 98 overall, 97 throw power, 87 speed. He's the best quarterback in Madden, and he's the best quarterback in the world in real life, obviously. Kyron Williams is a good running back, but he's 86 speed, and he doesn't have any abilities, which, kind of doesn't scare me all that much, but Ricardo Wimbley is a second-year player out of Illinois, 92 speed. That's who I'd be starting if I were the Bears. But I'll tell you what, they do have superstar 92 overall Jackson Smith-Njigba, who is an awesome player in real life for the Seahawks. He has 91 speed, and also have Keon Coleman, who is, if you guys remember the Bears game from last season, he was target 1 for them, as well as Deontay Johnson. George Kittle, no more superstar abilities, but still a 96 overall tight end. They have David Bakhtiari, hasn't retired yet. Interesting. 79 overall Isaac Sayamalu, former Super Bowl champion with the Eagles IRL, Austin Corbett, Sam Cosmi, and Mike McGlinchey. This is not a great O-line, I will be honest with you guys. Zach Allen and Chris Jenkins Jr., who I forgot about. We traded him to the Bears for Tariq Woolen. Who else was in that package? Let's see. Not too sure yet, but he is still really good. Still star dev, 79 overall, who is a former Super Bowl champion for us in season 1. We're going to have to, block him up today, as well as Brian Brzee and Javon Kinlaw, 2 former first-round picks in real life. Nick Samuel, the edge rusher from the year 1 draft, doesn't have star dev anymore. I thought he did originally, but doesn't seem to be getting a lot of playing time, maybe. Trenton Simpson's a really good Madden linebacker, and they actually drafted Phil McLean. That's the guy we wanted. He does have normal dev. Okay, interesting. But he's 91 speed. I'm kind of glad we didn't draft him now. Normal dev is not great. We would have had to take him in the 1st or 2nd round. But 2 good linebackers nonetheless, as well as Drew Tranquil, another good one, and Tyson Campbell, Juju Brents is who we traded, and he doesn't even play. So might not even see him on the field here. Darryl McClellan is one of the corners here. He's 88 speed, but he's a rookie, 21 years old, hidden dev. Interesting player, as well as Antonio Green, another rookie, 70 overall, 92 speed. That guy needs to start, huh? 6 foot, really nice looking player there. This cornerback room is really good. It's like just a wall of mid, you know what I mean? Tyson Campbell's a good player. Like, these guys are good players, but they're just not great. None of them are fast. Julian Love is a superstar, 91 overall, 89 overall safety. That's probably the best player on that defense, huh? Maurice Groves, like, this isn't, a great team by any means. They have good skill position players and Patrick Mahomes. That's really the threat with this team. And so for weekly strategy, we're going to try to defend the deep ball. Patrick Mahomes loves to take shots down the field. He's got the best arm strength and arm talent maybe I've ever seen. Aaron Rodgers is really the only guy that comes close, in my opinion, when you're talking about NFL history. I haven't seen everybody play, of course, but for the guys I've seen, it's Aaron Rodgers and Pat Mahomes as far as arm talent goes. Now, defensively, this team isn't all that. We can throw it on this team. We're going to go throw it deep and try to expose the long ball like we did last week against the 49ers. For our weekly game plan, if we can get 1 interception, I think we win the game. With the way our offense played, if we continue to play mistake-free, turnover-free football offensively, and we're going to try to allow 24 points or less. It's going to be a tough challenge against the Bears. They put up a 30-piece on us last year in 7-minute quarters. We're going to try to get 15 first downs, and I'm actually going to hop into a drill here to warm up. All right, folks, we do have some upgrades after the training session. Trayvon Walker goes up 1, and we're going to do speed rusher for him. Does get +2 finesse moves. That's awesome. He's now up to 90 finesse finesse moves and 89 power moves with morale. Incredible stuff. Trey Benson gets an upgrade, and his elusive back is getting really close to 85 overall, and once we get it to 85 overall, he should get some extra abilities. Not only an ability slot, but he should also get an ability. We do want, like, let's see, Jukebox is, you know, if we get one more upgrade with Trey Benson this season, we're going to get Jukebox, which is one of the better abilities in the game for a running back. And, you know, Spin Cycle just isn't doing much for me right now. I think I might change his abilities as it is. Balance Beam might be pretty good. Could go Return Man. That would be good for him as well. I think we're going to try Balance Beam and see what that does for us, if anything. And the Wanster, Juan Lane, gets an upgrade. We want his zone coverage to be much, much better. It is at a 68 overall. That just can't be the case. If he's going to want to be on the field, +1 zone coverage, +3 play rec, and +1 tackle. And that's it, folks. We're going to hop into Bears Week. We have a 1 o'clock game at the link. Let's get into it. We do have some throwback unis on for both teams. Got the Bears and the Eagles coming up next. Yeah, I was thinking about, because I do a lot of commentating on these games, and the Bears are getting booed big time. You love to see it. I've been thinking about who do you guys think is the best commentator of all time for, like, you know, football? Oh yeah, this is what we want. Oh my goodness, the Eagles taking the field with the Kelly Greens, baby. Coolest jerseys in all of sports in my, I love the Kelly Greens, but I think for, like, play-by-play, as far as the NFL goes, I think it's no doubt, it's got to be Al Michaels. Al Michaels is such an awesome commentator, such a legend. And as far as, like, the color commentary, I think, you know, rest in peace to the GOAT, John Madden, of course, one of the greatest. But for, like, right now, I like Tony Romo. I used to like John Gruden a lot. I also like Greg Olson. I think he's pretty good. Mike Tirico's good for the play-by-play, but in basketball, it's got to be Mike Breen. Just the iconic commentary as we'll come out and cover 3 here. First play of the game for Mahomes and company, as that is complete right over the head of my user, D'Angelo Hall, to Keon Coleman. Patrick Mahomes with a 25-yard completion to start the game, and you hate to see that, man. 4-2-5 look here. This could be a run, maybe a stretch to the right side, but QB Brown is my GOAT color commentator in the NBA, and that's a fumble to start the game and recovered by, I believe it was Quinnen Williams who recovered that football. He sure did, and it was it Zach Gatson who forced that out? I think it was. Oh my goodness, what a way to start this game. Jonathan Warner comes up with the fumble. What a play. It was actually D'Angelo Hall, my user, who forced the fumble. Jonathan Warner falls on it, and George Kittle, usually pretty trusty-handed, not today, man. That was amazing. What a way to start the game defensively, to come out with a turnover on the, on the Bears. Certainly weren't going to pick off Pat Mahomes. If that first play of the game meant anything, then you could see what kind of trouble we might be in today. But we'll come out and start with a run to Trey Benson, and we got to get him more involved. He didn't have a lot of carries last week, and like I said, this defense really doesn't scare me all that much. But Benson can't find much room, pick up 2. But we are in good field position here, man, to start the game. 2nd and 8. Mark Cantrell come onto the field. We'll go with some play action. And D-tackle all over it. I mean, geez, he was screaming at us. Brian Brzee won off the line. I saw it all the way. Tried to escape, couldn't. It'll be 3rd and 17. And that's not what we're looking for here to start the game offensively. You got to, find a way to get the ball down the field on this play. And nobody's really open. It's Brzee again. It'll be a 4th and forever, and we'll have to punt right away. Brian Brzee with 2 sacks on 2 straight plays, and this is going to be a defensive battle. Who would have thought? A turnover for the Bears. We couldn't do anything with it, and we will punt to start the game. Wasn't really expecting that football in the first place, but Terrion Arnold with a tackle on the return man at the 22, and that's where Mahomes will get his second chance. Like I said, that fumble, he had nothing to do with that, but holy cow, what a weird way to start the game. Wouldn't have expected it. I thought this would be another shootout. Clearly not the case. We got to do a better job of blocking, as Jonathan Warner and Zach Gatson, the Gatman, all over that one. Excuse me, it's Quinnen Williams and the Gatman all over that run. It'll be a TFL, 2nd and 11 for the Bears, and it will be another run. 38 with the carry, picks up 3, Kyron Williams, and it'll be a 3rd and 8. Let's try to sun the house at Mahomes here. We will move Bullock over to cover Kittle. We will be responsible for the running back, and Mahomes flushed out. He's got a wide open man. It is Deontay Johnson. Luckily, Tariq Woolen fast enough to make that stop, but holy cow. What a play there from Mahomes to, fend off the pressure and make the throw. I mean, he was wide open. Woolen beaten coverage, but Woolen was ultimately fast enough to make the stop, and out to the flat. This time, another catch for Kittle. Doesn't fumble this time, and it'll be up at the 14. Bears moving and grooving on this drive. We got to get our stuff together here. We're going to send another blitz at Chicago. 1st and 10. It'll be play action. To the flat goes Kittle, but Woolen all over it. Good coverage that time, and it'll be a 2nd and 8. We'll come out in our 4-3 coverage. They're going to spread out the field, which is actually a good call, but we're going to get Cole Bishop on the field to hopefully make something happen. We're going to use him for this play, and it is quick slants. And Zach Excuse me, Zach Gatson misses the tackle. Deontay and Jonathan Warner's down. Oh my goodness, this game is all over the place, huh? Jeez, we can't lose him. Jonathan Warner out, and Malik Collins, who we signed in the offseason, will come in to replace him. 3rd and 1. It's going to be a throw to the back of the end zone, intercepted by D'Angelo Hall, and he's just going to go down with it in the end zone. 2 turnovers, 2 drives for the Bears. What was that throw? What a terrible decision by Mahomes to even think, consider making that throw. Hall's going to pose for the camera, get his moment in the spotlight, but D'Angelo Hall with great coverage in the end zone, it really was just a bad throw. It could have been picked off by several defenders, but luckily D'Angelo Hall there to make the play, and Caleb Williams will have another opportunity here. We got to do a better job of blocking, and we'll try to establish the run once again. We'll go with Trey Benson to the right side, try to run it Brian Brzee this time, and he has been a game wrecker so far, and no exception there. I mean, he gets through on that one. Drew Tranquil on the play as well, and I think we're going to keep Jonathan Warner out. He's got muscle cramps. We just can't afford to lose him. Such an important piece, and it'll be 2nd and 9. We'll do a little levels concept here. And Brock Bowers wide open on the sideline. Nice catch. Only pick up 1 yard out of that, and there's going to be a blitzer off the edge here. Hopefully Benson can pick him up. 3rd and 7. And we'll try to, that's the word. That's just a bad throw. What am I doing, man? This game, that's going to be a pick 6 for the Chicago Bears. Nothing going well on either side of the football right now. Unfortunately, our mistake results in 7 points for the Bears, as theirs only resulted in a turnover and a touchback. But what am I doing? Bad read. Throw it away, punt it away, whatever you got to do. Can't throw that. Can't throw it. Let me settle in. 2 sacks and a punt, and then a pick 6. I mean, could it really get any worse than that? I don't think so. We're going to try a stretch. And Benson's going to cut back. He's got some space and some speed, and he's going to juke a man up to the 40-yard line. Big run there for Benson. That's what we needed. Get this run game going a little bit, and I like the under center concepts. I really do. We're going to try basically the same play here. And Benson, decent hole up the middle. He'll pick up 2. But we got to be able to run the ball a little bit better, especially when our pass game has not looked great so far, and we'll go out in 5 wide and try to change that right now if we can. Bowers open. And really nice play. I believe that was Julian Love, who has a knockout ability, which was made clear to me on that one. So we'll try to avoid throwing to him if we can. Another 3rd and long. We got to get out of these spots. And BJ Coffee open. Can he make something happen with the ball? After the catch, he does. Picks up the 1st down. Good job to take that to the middle of the field and run after catch there from BJ Coffee. And I really like this. This is like you have an option to throw a screen, a couple of them really, and then you got 2 deep routes on the field as well. And if this is man coverage, I like our odds. And we're just gonna get that to Harrison. It's going to be a loss of 5. He was open on the screen, but didn't end up working out. It's going to be the end of the 1st quarter. We got to play a little bit more sharp offensively. This is not good. We're going to try a double outs concept here. Spread our receivers out. This looks like it could be cover 2. And if that's the case, I'm going to look Harrison's way. It does appear to be cover 2. And the ball was just uncatchable the whole way. And honestly, a nice job by the safety to make a play on that. And I'm going to dial up something for Brock Bowers here. This is a corner route for him. He's really good at these, and hopefully it's man coverage against that linebacker. We'll see. 3rd and 15. Bowers is open. We do have him. Catch on the sideline, complete, and that'll be a 1st down, and that's why you get him some designed looks, because otherwise, 3rd and 15s can be really unattainable if that's not the case. We're going to give a carry to BJ Coffee here. Good blocks. And Coffee stopped by Jenkins Jr. You have an injury. I believe it's one of the Bears. 2nd and 7. Coffee still in the game. We'll go with a play action look off that successful run. And, man, Brian Brzee just getting in instantly. I mean, right guard, Fuaga is just getting manhandled today. And it'll be another, 3rd and 7 here. 3rd and long, 3rd and medium, whatever. It's going to be a double blitz up the middle. We're going to go with a max protect. Somebody get open. We're going to have Grant over the middle of the field. It's just going to go down with it. Didn't want to risk it on a 3rd down. We've been converting these and didn't want that to change. We'll go the RPO here. Potentially look Xavier Legette's way, but he wasn't open on that. And Benson takes it for 1. We have another injury. It's Benson. He got injured last week, and he's going to the locker room, and that's not what you want to see. Unreal. Play action. And we're sacked. Chris Jenkins Jr., that time, getting some revenge on his former team. Jeez, man. All right. 3rd and 16. I don't know that we're going to be able to convert this here. We'll see. We'll try it for Harrison. who makes the catch at the 1 yard line. He had one-on-one coverage, and I threw that before the safety could even get involved in that play, as Benson has a strained tricep and he'll be out for the game. Coffee will replace him. Could potentially get some looks for Nick Chubb as well. We're going to try a trap play on the goal line here. Try to get these run blockers moving and grooving, and Coffee, good play by the linebacker on the left side to make that stop. And we'll try a single back look here. I do want to run this in. I'm not super confident in our pass game right now. And we'll try it again with Coffee. I like the look. Spread line, but a bunch of linebackers in the box. We'll see what happens. Coffee will have a touchdown, does power that one in, and we finally get on the board. It'll be a 7-7 game, and, that drive much better than the first one. It was still not perfect. It was a little bit chaotic here and there, but we got the result we needed, which was a 15-play, 75-yard touchdown. Took half the quarter away from the Bears, who haven't been on the field offensively in what feels like an entire quarter. And last time they were, Mahomes threw a pick in the red zone, and this game's a mess. It's just all over the place. Bunch of turnovers, but we do score that time, and here comes Mahomes again, looking to rectify his mistake on the last drive, but he has been slinging it. I will say that. Over the middle, complete to Smith and Jigba, who gets popped by Donnell Simmons, not before he picks up the first down. And this is, this has got to be a run, so we're going to try to send a blitz. It's not. Good play action there. Hits Simmons there to make the tackle. Kalen Bullock making the tackle on George Kittle. And they love these, jumbo sets. This is like, bunch formation here. Another play action. Mahomes looking for Kittle, who has been making a lot of plays today, George Kittle, underneath on these underneath routes. And we'll come out in a 4-3, get Cole Bishop on the field. Last time we did this, we got an interception. So the coverage has been good today. And it is a run, but Jonathan Warner back into the game makes a play on the running back. I believe that was Kyron Williams. Great job by Jonathan Warner to get in there. Our D-line is playing really well today, I got to say. 2nd and 11. We'll stay in the 4-3, and Mahomes has his man for a short 7-yard pickup. It'll be 3rd and 4. Got to get off the field. I like the way the 4-3's covering right now. I'm going to go some man coverage on this one. 3rd and 4. Will be a throw. Mahomes trying to take off, and Warner got him for the sack. Jonathan Warner playing through injury right now with a TFL and a sack on back-to-back plays, and the Bears will be forced to punt. That sack was huge. It took him out of field goal range, kept him from taking a lead, and I believe we will receive to start the half in the second half. So we'll have the ball at the 17, not a great punt, and we have a chance to not only take the lead here, but then extend it coming out of halftime. That's what we'll try to do. 1st and 10. And I think we might have Leggett, who makes a diving catch. I tried to lead that outside on purpose. That was a great job by Williams and Leggett, and we'll take that down to the 2-minute warning on purpose. Great throw and catch there. Sets us up nicely to make something happen on this drive. It's always important to start a 2-minute drill with positive yardage. It just makes the whole thing better. We're going to have, room outside the pocket here. We're just going to throw it away. I potentially could have hit James Grant on that, but they're doing a nice job covering him, and I didn't want to take a risk with the way things are going right now. We're going to streak Bowers. Might have a win off the line for free here. Does not. But Coffee is wide open out of the backfield. Nice job of running that route for Coffee, and he's been getting involved today in the pass game quite a bit. 1st and 10. If we have time on this one, might be able to hit Harrison down the field. We're going to try it. Harrison makes another incredible contested catch one-on-one to set us up within field goal range. And now the ball's in our court. We really got a chance here to do something crazy. No safety help over the top. And we're sacked. I saw a lane up the middle. We're not going to take a timeout. I saw a lane up the middle. I thought we could run, but they're doing a nice job of disguising coverages right now. And Xavier Leggett, nice route. It's patented whip route. It's going to take it out of bounds, stop the clock at the 11-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 2. We have a chance here to convert this first down and try to make our lead 7 instead of 3. This is a big play. Leggett is open. He's having a big day today. Big juke from Leggett. Takes it to the 3-yard line. We'll call our second timeout, and let's try to punch this thing in, man. I like this formation. It's been looking really good right now. And I'll tell you what, Marvin Harrison is pretty isolated over there. Don't have anywhere to go with the ball. Harrison was open, and I don't know. This is probably not a good decision here to not take a timeout, but we should have Brock Bowers on that. Great play from the linebacker. Man, let me look at this again. I did not think he was going to be able to make that play. Eyes in the back of his head there. It was either a linebacker or a safety. Not sure who it was. But here's what I saw, man. I saw Brock Bowers right here. Pretty much wide open. This player here, 21, who just made a fantastic play on the football. Groves, it was a good throw too, but he just reacted to that ball. He was watching the quarterback's eyes all the way, and that's just a great play from him. I can't really be too upset about it. Really should have been a touchdown. If I highballed that, probably would have been. Unbelievable, man. We had a chance. We got to come away with points there, and it's pretty disappointing that we can't, and they're going to take a knee, and we'll get the ball out of the second half, but we still have an opportunity to take the lead on the next drive. But we could be up 2 touchdowns by the end of the next drive instead of, 1 or 3. Assuming we don't turn it over again. Messy half for both teams, 7-7, the opposite of last game, which was a absolute shootout. We'll try to get the run game going a little bit, and we'll defend the deep pass as best we can. Not a great half of football for your Eagles. Jalen Mills into the game with Benson out to return, and he's just so slow. He's so slow. He cannot be our third returner, and with Benson out, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to run on this defense, but we're going to have to try it, BJ Coffee into the game will get a carry. Folger Soldier taking it. It's got a lot of speed to the outside, picks up 5. Nice blocks there, and honestly, good run by Coffee. We'll give it to Coffee again. Got to commit to the run early. 2nd and 5. And a big hole up the middle. Coffee, nice play by the linebacker, but Coffee picks up 4. And I'd like to think we can power this, for a 1-yard pickup here with Coffee, so we're going to try it. Coffee up the middle, has the first down and more. Fighting for extra yards, takes it to the 43. Nice play there from Coffee, and that'll set us up with a new set of downs, and we'll try a throw on 1st and 10 this time. But this Bears pass defense is confusing me a lot of times. Like, they're doing a good job of disguising coverage, and their scheme is really interesting. It's not something you're going to see a lot, and Brock Bowers wide open on the sideline. He's got a lot of room to run after the catch, stiff-arming his way out of bounds up to the 30, but not only to throw our first interception of the season, as we'll try a halfback screen for the Folger Soldier on this one, but to throw our first interception today, and then also, another one in the red zone. Not how I wanted this to go, but Coffee, good job in the receiving game today. He's been really versatile for us, and he's done a nice job filling in for Benson. 2nd and 3. And we got Coffee out of the backfield again. Picks up the first down. He's been absolutely money on this drive. BJ Coffee making things happen. Run game, pass game, doesn't matter. These crossing routes seem to be effective against the Bears and the underneath stuff. This is man coverage. Bowers wins on his man 21 who made the interception last time. Not this time. Bowers run after catch touchdown towards the pylon. Dives into the end zone, and just one-on-one, you can't leave him like that. He's too fast. He's too big. He's too strong. Displaying it all there. Brock Bowers with a big touchdown to put us up 7. Barring extra point, Aubrey's kick is up, and it is good. 14-7. Got to continue to play good defense. We have done a nice job defensively. Sacks, turnovers, fumbles, interceptions. We got them all today, and hopefully the second half is no different as Aubrey will kick it away, and the Bears will take the field. In Chicago, we'll have another opportunity offensively to respond to our touchdown drive, and I got to say, you're never safe with a lead against 15 Patrick Mahomes. He's going to make it difficult, you know what I mean? 1st and 10. It's going to be a run to Williams. And Gatson and Warner all over it. It'll be a short gain of 1. We played the run exceptionally well today. And we're going to send a man blitz at Patrick Mahomes. It is another run. Hall gets there as well as hits Simmons and Warner. Warner has been a monster today. Against the run, against the pass, he is just doing it all. 3rd and 5. If we can get off the field here, I'd feel really good, man. I really would. And underneath, Arnold tries to break it up. That was excellent coverage by Arnold, but can't break up the pass on the sure-handed Deontay Johnson, which will, in turn, move the chains for Chicago. But this has got to be a run. And somebody jumped off sides. Nope, it was a false start. Amazing. Back them up 5. Let's go. You love to see it. But they love these bunch formations. And, I like to play man coverage against it because I'm not super terrified of this receiving core. As Kyron Williams stopped in his tracks by D'Angelo Hall and Drew Sanders for a loss. They cannot get anything going today in the run game. 2nd and 13, we'll go with the cover 4, and Williams will go out wide. It is a tight end screen for George Kittle, who does a nice job after the catch to break a tackle and set the Bears up for a 3rd and 6. And the blitz has worked well today. We're going to pass commit and send it at Mahomes. And it's going to be a play action. Mahomes looking deep for Deontay Johnson, and Woolen is there to break it up. Great coverage that time by Woolen. Not getting beat by the slower Deontay Johnson. The Bears will punt on 4th and 6. At midfield, we'll have another chance to extend our lead. Defense showed up today, man. They played horrendous last week, and they knew it. They came out here ready to play today. That has been very evident as the game moves along. Now, our goal this drive, to take a lot of time off the clock. If we can run the ball, even better. And we're going to try to run the ball as Coffee nearly slips to the outside, and he'll be dangerous, going to the outside, and they are stacking this line here, man. I really like a streak for Marvin Harrison instead of whatever he's on right now. 2nd and 10. And we're going to try to chuck it up. He's just got speed. And he's made a couple big contested catches today. Not that time, but it will be 3rd and 10. We're going to go with a 4 verts look. Get something going down the field. That'd be nice, huh? And Chris Jenkins Jr., man, you know, they played a nice job in the cover 2. It was a cover 2 invert. They played that really well. There were people open, but they weren't open until 5 seconds into the play, and by that time we were sacked. Chris Jenkins Jr., 2 sacks today, getting revenge on Caleb Williams. The offensive line, particularly in the pass game, has just not blocked super well today, and, you know, Brian Brzee with a couple sacks, now Chris Jenkins with a couple sacks, and Mahomes can have another chance to tie the football game. 1st and 10. This has been a defensive battle. If you like these, you're in the right place. George Kittle been all over the field today making plays. This could be a run up the middle, and I think it's going to be. And I'm stuck on my lineman. That's unfortunate. It was a run up the middle. Woolen there, as well as hit Simmons, who's making a lot of good plays in the run today. And that'll take us to the end of the 3rd. I'd really like to hold the Bears to at least 3, if not 0, but, you know, we're putting our defense in tough positions. Like, to be able to stop Mahomes as much as we have so far already, and now we're asking him to do it again to keep him off the board as Zach gets a nice hit on JSN. It'll be 2nd and 5. But when we go with man coverage, they just seem to like to, you know, throw to George Kittle. And underneath, Bullock can't make that play as Keon Coleman stopped by Hit Simmons and Woolen, who are covering the back end of the defense really well. Doesn't seem to matter that time. And I like this play. Out to the flat. Bullock there to stop Kittle along with Cole Bishop. Great play by Kalen Bullock, using his strength and size to not allow George Kittle to advance that football. It'd be a play action here. Mahomes looking. He's going to roll out and be sacked by Quinnen Williams. Who else? The anchor of our defense getting home that time. Beautiful job there. It'll be a 3rd and 13. Can we get off the field? Underneath. No tackles broken. D'Angelo Hall there with the stop, and they're going to go for it here on a 4th and 6. And I'll tell you what, I like our odds in man coverage here. 4th and 6. Somebody make a play. Mahomes looking to roll out, stopped by Hall, and then it'll be another turnover for the Chicago Bears. D'Angelo Hall read the field with my user, making a great play on the football, coming up and just making the play on Mahomes. Couldn't make a miss as Coffey will get a carry with Harrison in the backfield. Harrison with a good block, and Coffey up the middle for 9. He's ran well today on the ground and through the air. He's just been a weapon, and we're going to continue to try to get him involved. Can he pick up the first down here? We're trying to take some clock away. I mean, that was a stupid call to go for it. There's 5 minutes on the clock, man. If it's a 4th and 1, I see what you're trying to do, but it was not. It was absolutely not. It was not only not a 4th and 1, it was a 4th and 6. I mean, it's just a really brain-dead call, in my opinion. We'll look to go play action here. Nobody open. Throw it away. 2nd and 10, we'll try another run. The Coffee has been exceptionally shifty today. And picking up some extra yards there. It's got 10 for 42 and a touchdown. 3rd and 8. Who wants to make a play? We got Cantrell into the game. Brock Bowers as well, and some 12 personnel here. 3rd and 8. I mean, James Grant's wide open. Can he even score on this one? James Grant, which was a routine corner route, doesn't get covered. The safety too slow, and James Grant's going to walk in with another touchdown. 3rd of the season, big play there from Grant. Hasn't made a ton of plays today, honestly. Hasn't been open all that much, but that time he was wide open. And of course, once he gets the football in his hands with that much space down the field, good luck catching him. Light speed, taking it in with another big play touchdown, and we will extend our lead to 2 touchdowns. And listen, if they had kicked a field goal, now I guess it wouldn't matter, but they are in trouble. The Chicago Bears, kicked by Aubrey up and good, make it a 2-score game, and they got a lot of work to do now. James Grant coming through on 3rd down. Bears defense falls asleep. Can't do that. We got about 4 minutes. And Patrick Mahomes. Is that going to be enough? We'll see. Our defense is playing lights out today, so we hope that can continue. We're just pass committing the rest of the game. Our defensive line has played exceptional today. They have been the star of the show as far as I'm concerned defensively. And like I said, right there, I mean, D'Angelo Hall running sideline to sideline quite literally to make that play. 2nd and 11. Mahomes out to Kittle, who's made catch after catch today, but our cover 3 is just working really well. They're not really getting much down the field, and that's what we want. Just take time off the clock, play conservative coverage. Drew Sanders injured now, man. The injuries are rolling today, huh? Not good. 3 down linemen this time, just trying to cover these guys up. And it'll be a running back screen, but Mahomes threw it right off the head of a lineman. Drew Sanders, muscle cramps, will return soon. I'm keeping him out. We can't risk all these big injuries. You know, we'll put B.J. Ojulari into the game. That's why we have him on the team for situations like this. And over the middle for Deontay Johnson. This has taken a lot of time. Hope they're comfortable with that. We got extra DBs on the field for a reason. Cover your man. 3rd and 2. Mahomes out to Smith and Jigba, and I really should have ran with that the whole way, but I was worried. And I don't like this formation. I like when we have two linebackers. Underneath again. Gatson there to make the stop. 2nd and 1, that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. They haven't taken any timeouts, which is actually really good for them, because if they can score within the next few plays, they have 3 timeouts, and they can stop us in the run game potentially. But I don't know, man. They got to get in the end zone really, really quickly, and they got to try to work out of bounds. If they're not going to take shots to the end zone, they can't get tackled in bounds, which is what they're going to do here. D'Angelo Hall with a big hit on Coleman, and they just can't afford to make those little dink and dunks right now with 1:30 left. Yep, we'll live with that. Kittle down to the 5, but Bears call a timeout. I mean, really dumb decision there. You run up to the line and spike it. What are you doing? 2nd and 2. And Mahomes going to take off. Does he have the legs? He does. Fights into the end zone, pass Gatson, pass Warner, but they did take a timeout, and they'll have to try an onside kick. They don't have enough time. They don't have the 2-minute warning anymore to stop us 3 straight plays. So it's going to be an onside kick to determine the game here. We did a nice job of holding them. They did score 7, but we did a nice job as the hands team will come on. And Juan Lane with a big-time catch, plucks it out of the sky like an eagle. A monster making it happen, and that's pretty much going to do it, right? Because we can run this football realistically twice, take their timeouts away. We're already in field goal range as well, extend our lead to 2 possessions. And there's field goal range, really. BJ Coffee does have poor carrying ability, but I don't think it's going to matter. I really don't. Just don't fumble one time. 2nd and 4. And Coffee's going to have the first down, and that will do it. Bears take their last time out. We're going to continue to try to stat pad, and we will move up to 2-0, take on the Cowboys next week. We'll take a look at our division after this game as well. I expect it to be much better this year. Last year, it was not good. 2nd and 10, Coffee going to get another big-time carry here. And they are going for that football. It'd be 3rd and 4, and we can run it again. Coffee with a big day. I mean, there was a lot of heroes today. Coffee does a nice job of covering up that football, picks up another first down, and that'll end the game. We're going to take a 2-0 record into week 3, coming out and just absolutely, no doubt about it, our defense was the star of the show, allowing 14 points against Patrick Mahomes in this Bears offense, which we couldn't stop last year. I don't think we got one stop on them last year in that shootout in Chicago in the snow. And, against the Niners last week, what did we get? One stop. We had a couple picks we had a pick on Mahomes, a couple sacks, a fumble, got him off the field with a couple punts, a couple times, in the red zone, got an interception and also a turnover on downs. We were amazing today defensively all the way across the board, and it started up front, right? Warner was probably the MVP of the game. Jonathan Warner had a sack. I mean, Mahomes, no touchdowns. Listen, Caleb Williams wasn't all that great either. He had 2 picks, 2 touchdowns, but did, put the ball on the money when it counted most, in these late 3rd down situations at the end of the game to ice it with that James Grant touchdown, basically. He was, sacked a couple times. That didn't help him, but overall, I thought he played a good game. I made a couple of mistakes. The second pick in the red zone, I don't know about that one. The first one was the worst I've ever seen, but we really only held the offense to 7 points if you think about it, because they had a pick 6 as well. Patrick Mahomes, not good today, and our defense was the star of the show. BJ Coffee ran well, a 4.1 average, 15 for 62 and a touchdown. I thought he did incredible. He also had 29 yards after contact, which you don't really think of him as a yards after contact guy, but that's a lot of yak, in my opinion. Kyron Williams couldn't get anything going. Trey Benson ran well before he got injured, but he's got the injury bug this year, man. 2 weeks in a row, he's been injured with a nagging injury. George Kittle was exceptional, 9 catches for 71 yards, didn't end up mattering all that much, but he did have that big fumble to begin the game, which really set the tone, in my opinion. Keon Coleman was a big threat once again, 4 for 47. BJ Coffee led our team in catches, 4 for 34. Brock Bowers had a big run after catch touchdown, 4 for 67 and a touchdown, 16.7 average. Jackson Smith and Jigba with 4 for 39. Deontay Johnson had a couple monster plays, 4 for 71, and Xavier Legette had a nice start to the game and then kind of lost him in the sea of weapons that we have later on with, 3 for 35. Marvin Harrison with a couple big contested catches down the field. It felt like he had more than 3 for 55, but he was just incredible today early in the game. Delvin Ferris, the backup tight end, who was a first-round pick for the Bears in year 1, 2 for 24. And James Grant, another Deshaun Jackson game, man, 2 for 75 and a touchdown. Continue continues to impress. Fuaga could not block Brian Brzee to save his life. He allowed 2 sacks today. Chris Jenkins Jr., 2 sacks, 2 TFLs, making us regret trading him, but not really because our defense was on fire. Zach Gatson with 12 total tackles and a TFL. Donnell Simmons with 11 total tackles. He was great, on the back end of our, secondary. D'Angelo Hall with 9 tackles, an interception, and a forced fumble today. Might win him Defensive Player of the Week, but Brian Brzee with 2.5 sacks. I mean, he was just unblockable, really. Kalen Bullock had some nice tackles, 6 of them to be specific, and Tariq Woolen as well with 6. Maurice Groves, the rookie safety, 2 picks and a pick 6. He actually might win Defensive Player of the Week with those 2 picks and a pick 6. But Terry Arnold with the pass deflection and good coverage all day. But really, man, Quinnen Williams had a sack. Jonathan Warner had a sack. Jonathan Warner had 3 tackles, 2 TFLs. He was a monster. Just a great all-around showing from our defense. And of course, Aubrey was perfect on all extra points, and that will do it. Moving on to 2-0, and we have a big division game coming up with the Cowboys, who hopefully have lost a game by now. But the Commanders is always going to be the real threat, just like IRL, in this division for the Eagles. Terry Arnold with an upgrade. He's going to move up to an 84 overall, and I think for him, I guess I'd like his zone coverage to be a little better, huh? I don't know. He's so good at everything, basically, right? Wouldn't mind having his press be a little higher as well. I just really like him as a slot. He's been such a good player for us, and we're going to go with man coverage because I really like to play him press coverage in the slot against almost any matchup. +3 man coverage. That's beautiful. He's going to move up to an 85 overall, 86 with morale. Man coverage, and we do have some stat points to spend, and then we will advance the week after that. Here's some XP ones that we haven't fleshed out. We'll work on those next, I think, but for now, we're just going to continue this tree. We don't quite have enough for these 2 yet. Yeah, we'll save our points for that then. All right, week 3 coming up, Cowboys week. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why we didn't spend any money in free agency. Look how much money Joe Alt wants. And we're going to give it to him, obviously, but Joe Alt wants about $100 million to be our right tackle for the next 4 years. And we're going to give it to him. There's just no question about it. He has interest in signing, re-signing for us. We're going to up the salary a little bit and just hope he accepts this offer. Joe Alt, please. That is exactly the offer I was hoping to get. Next season will be great. You're damn right it will. Joe Alt is our basically our Lane Johnson, right, of this universe. And he is here to stay, but that's a big chunk of our cap. Now, Trayvon Walker is an interesting one. He wants about $20 million a year. And listen, he's a great player. I don't mind giving him this, and we knew we were going to have to pay him this anyway. I'm going to pay him it. We're just going to have to, but it's a 2-year deal, and I like that because he's 25 years old, and by the time the deal expires, he will have either gotten superstar and, not regressed, or, if he just continues to be star dev. I don't know about the next contract, but for now, this guy's our best pass rusher pretty much, right? I mean, he's led the team in sacks pretty much every year. And so we're going to try to throw this out there. I was looking for a better fit, but I'll reconsider. Okay, well, we'll have to offer him again next week, but we're going to have to clearly give him more money than that. BJ Ojulari, I don't know, man. He's a good depth piece. We'll wait on that one. He wants about 11 million total, and that's like what, 6 per year? I just don't know about that. Nick Chubb, we're going to have to let him go. Unfortunately, I can't pay him $11 million to be the 3rd string running back, but Amari Barno, I think we will bring back. He's been here since the fantasy draft, and he wants $3 million. We'll try to offer him this. I'm happy to, yeah, he's going to sign. That's a good re-signing. Everybody else, I don't think so. Unfortunately, like, they just want too much money, and it just doesn't seem worth it to me. Jalen Mills going to have to, he's going to have to go. Laken Tomlinson, this wouldn't be a terrible contract, but we'll think about Morgan Moses, though. He's 35. Will he retire? I'm not too sure, but I know if they retire, I think you get the cap back for the next year. So, this is actually a fairly good deal in my opinion. Like, I don't know that he'll accept this. I'm starting to I can't pay you more than $4 million, dude. I'm sorry. Brandon Aubrey, though, we'll give him whatever he wants. He is such a weapon for us offensively. Like, he has interest, and we're gonna offer him a 2-year deal here, and he extends. So we got Brandon Aubrey back for the long haul. We'll have to work on Trayvon Walker throughout the season. And like I said, offensive and defensive line depth is going to be priority 1 in the draft. But that's, big re-signings there. Brandon Aubrey and Joe Alt are here to stay. It is Cowboys week. We love beating up on the Cowboys. IRL in-game doesn't matter, but in-game is going to have to be what it is here. We'll look at the Cowboys roster. Of course, their quarterback is Anthony Richardson. They had a top pick in the draft who they took a D tackle with. They did some big movement in the offseason through free agency, got some good depth, and Anthony Richardson looking pretty good. He's 81 overall at this point. He's 91 speed, 96 throw power, but doesn't really seem to give us a lot of issues all that much when we play him. Jalen Warren, good running back IRL. IRL, just so good. You know, 27, 85 overall. He is so shifty and hard to bring down. He's a tough guy to tackle. 85 overall, 90 speed running back. Receiving room is not great anymore for the Cowboys in this franchise. They still have DJ Moore, who's really good. You know, he's 92 speed, 87 overall, no superstar abilities, but Khalil Shakir always gives us fits when we play him. And Manny Dalton is a second-year receiver with star dev. This guy's pretty good. He's 6 foot, 213. He's a playmaker archetype, big slot receiver, 90 speed. That guy's going to be a good player. Tight end is Mike Gesicki. Listen, we're not super afraid of this offense here. It's just not great. But the defense is spectacular, as you'll see in a minute. Jake Matthews is the left tackle who they signed in the offseason. He was, I think, the best player on the market. Aaron Banks, pretty solid and serviceable left guard, but Hunter at center, just not great at 70 overall. Jonah Jackson's okay, and Anton Harrison and Evan Neal. We'll have to see who they start. It'll probably be Evan Neal because they paid him a lot of money, but interesting there. But listen, man, Nick Bosa on the left end, 99 overall. He's, you know, arguably the best defensive player in the league. You know, you got guys like TJ Watt, you got guys like Myles Garrett. You know, those are probably like the three. You know, Nick Bosa, Myles Garrett, TJ Watt. Trying to think who else. You know, since Aaron Donald retired, it's pretty much been a toss-up between those three guys, in my opinion. Of course, there's plenty of other great players, but those are really the big three. They also have Danielle Hunter, who is just a monster off the edge year after year, IRL. Vita Vea, maybe the best D tackle, arguably, you know, could be. Sean Knox is the guy they drafted. He's injured right now, but he is an 84 overall. Is this a generational D tackle? 84 overall rookie? Let's look at his dev trade. If he has X Factor, I think it's generational. How do you have an 84 overall rookie? How is that possible? Yeah, he's a generational D tackle. Unbelievable. And they took him with what pick was it? I can't remember. It appears he got injured in preseason, which is great for us, but that's pretty unfortunate. Third overall pick. So that guy is a problem. They also have good depth behind him. We'll see Mozzie Smith instead of him, who is a Cowboy in real life, I believe. Malcolm Rodriguez, former star of Hard Knocks with the Detroit Lions. Nick Bolton's a really good middle linebacker. He's picked us off more times than I can count when we played him. We play this team twice a year. Quincy Williams, another good player in the linebacker room for the Cowboys. Of course, the brother of our own Quinnen Williams. And Britton Lake is a rookie corner, man. 91 speed, normal dev, but good player. 77 overall. They also have Renardo Green and Kendall Fuller. Kind of a slow CB room, if I'm being honest. Nathan Abraham was on our team at one point. David Portis as well as Drew Weeks. So, Dre Weeks. Dre Weeks is a rookie. Another normal dev guy, but 92 speed. Jalen Thompson, really good safety, as well as Julian Blackman. This is a solid safety core. A couple of fast safeties there with good overalls. But that is the Cowboys team. It's not overly scary at all in the slightest. But we are in Dallas. That's a tough place to play for us, and we'll do our weekly strategy here. For Anthony Richardson, we're just going to want to defend the deep pass. It always seems to work for us against him. Like, he just loves airing that thing out, and we're going to try to play a lot of man coverage on this team since the receivers aren't so great. We're also going to try to continue to throw it deep ourselves. You know, that's just a good goal, in my opinion, for us to attain. Now, we're going to try to pick up. Let's do something crazy. I think we get one interception. I think that's certainly possible. We'll try to allow 24 points or less. I think we win the game if we allow less than 24 points on most weeks. Try to get 350 offensive yards, and we will try. How about win the turnover battle for once? That'd be nice, huh? I feel like, you know, if you made a list of every game that we've ever won, I would guarantee 95% of them are the ones we win the turnover battle. When we win the turnover battle, we probably win 95% of our games. And we will start our training here. And I actually got to look at the injury report because I didn't know if Trey Benson was long-term injured or not, because that's kind of a big deal, right? So Trey Benson should be back here. We're going to need him. That's really nice. And Landon Dickerson, how much longer is he going to be out? 2 more weeks. So not the end of the world there. We can live with that. And without further ado, let's go into Arlington at AT&T Stadium and beat up on the Cowboys. Nothing better in the world as an Eagles fan. And, you know, for our away jerseys, I really like the black helmets. So we're going to do our current away, and we'll do our black helmets with black pants. I love this look. You know, I really do. And then we'll do black cleats as well. Awesome, awesome stuff. And we'll hop into Cowboys week. Let's get it. Can we go 3-0? You know, the goal of this season is really simple. Let's be the first team ever to three-peat. We know how that turned out for the Chiefs IRL this year, but we are not the IRL Chiefs. We are better than that. Defense is absolutely rolling last week, and gotta keep that up here today. This is a much worse offense as Benson has a nice return up to the 29, and would love to get him involved without him getting injured. That'd be fun, huh? Let's try that here. But Coffee will be into the game on the first play, and we're going to try play action on the first play. It is a blitz. And we're going to try to take off with Williams, just pick up some easy yards there. It'll be 2nd and 3. Nice job. Pick up 7 on that one from Caleb. And on 2nd and 3, we're going to try a run with Benson. Be a little bit more unpredictable than we have been. Benson, good blocks. Gets through the hole, picks up the first down. Up to the 41. Nice run there for Benson. 1st and 10. Love to go 3-0, especially against the Cowboys. That's the best That's the best. Coffee with a big catch and run. The Folger Soldier picking up a first down. Great route. Had a ton of separation. New set of downs for your Eagles. We'll try another run with Benson here. Good job to get to the second level. Blake and Tomlinson on that one. 2nd and 7. And they are just spreading out this line big time, huh? I think we can run on this. We sure can, but, you know, only a 2-yard pickup. It'd be 3rd and 5. We're pretty much in field goal range already, and this looks like a zone coverage to me. And we're going to try to... You can't take a sack there, man. That's such a bad sack. Oh, 61-yarder, we'll try it. We are in a dome. 2-mile-per-hour winds in our face, but I think Aubrey got this one. Aubrey's kick from 61 is good, and that's why you pay that man whatever he wants. I don't care. I should have made it a 4 or 5 year deal. When you have a kicker like this, man, you hold him down. That's what we're doing. We take a 3-0 lead in Dallas, try to get a stop on the first possession for the Cowboys. Again, I'm not trying to underestimate these guys. They've played us tough before, but I just don't fear this offense, and maybe that's my famous last words. We'll see. Defensive line was eating last week. We'll see if they can do it again here. 1st and 10 for Dallas. It's going to be a QB keeper, and Richardson... Big hit by Fitzsimmons. Thought it could jar a fumble or jar that football free. Couldn't, but nice job. And that was the right decision by Richardson to keep that one. But we're laying him out every time. We're going to get a fumble on some of those. Richardson scrambling, pressured by Trayvon Walker, and gets it out to a short little hook route. Completes it to the receiver for a 5-yard pickup. 2nd and 5, and this will be a play action. I kind of fell for it, I'm not going to lie. Arnold with good coverage on it. Shakir, but just not fast enough to hang with that route. It'll be a big pickup for Dallas, and they're in field goal range already. We're going to try to send some heat on this one. It is a run to Warren. Good run defense by Kalen Bullock and Drew Sanders for no gain. And we'll try to mix it up with some man coverage here once again. Not too worried about these receivers, I'll be honest. And this is going to be a run. D'Angelo Hall and Kalen Bullock all over it. Solid pickup, though. It'll be 3rd and 5. Got to get off the field here, man. Cole Bishop come into the game on 3rd and 5. I love playing these 3 linebackers in the red zone. And we're taking away 2 routes with 1 player. Zach Gatson too slow to catch Richardson. Can Bullock get there? He can, but Richardson down to the 1. Good job by Gatson and Bullock to save a touchdown, but ultimately that was a really nice run from Anthony Richardson, although he couldn't finish it off. We're going to stack this line, put Alan Stanley on the field, rookie linebacker. See what he can do. And Trayvon Walker gets to Richardson for a 7-yard loss. Big sack. Huge sack there from Trayvon Walker. Amazing, amazing play. And we'll go some cover 2 here in the red zone. 2nd and goal. It'll be a throw. Good coverage. Richardson underneath, and I whiffed on the hit stick. Khalil Shakir going to take it in, man. That's on me. That's bad coverage by me. I can't do that anymore. That's terrible. Big mistake, but I can live with that. If everybody else does their job and it's me who makes the mistake, I can work on that. But if it's just across the board bad coverage, there's not much I can do about it. So when I make a mistake, I'm kind of okay with accepting the results because I made the mistake. I don't know if that makes sense, but Benson will return, and it'll be 7-3. Cowboys take the lead, and there's a lot of holes in this return, special teams return game for our returners so far, and I like it. I'm going to commit to the run here. Benson up the middle finds a nice little hole and powers forward for 7. Good job to fight for the extra yards there by Benson. We'll try to hit some quick slants action here. And Williams flush out of the pocket, just going to throw it away. That was good coverage. It really was. It's going to be a 3rd down, 3rd and 3 here. Need a big play. Brock Bowers wide open. Good protection from the O-line to give us some time there. Brock Bowers making the catch, pick up the first down, and we'll continue to try to run the football. This time it'll be BJ Coffee, as we mentioned. Benson is the guy, but listen, this is kind of a split backfield at this point. Coffee with a nice job to fight forward for 5. That'll end the first quarter. Overall, I can't be too upset with how we played on either side of the ball. I'd like to finish that first drive, but I'm just nitpicking, really. 2nd and 5 to start the second quarter. And Williams, oh man, I'm going to throw it away. If I had ran that just, full sprint to the right side, we might have had 30 yards. But we'll go with a 5-wide look here on 3rd and 5. Marvin Harrison underneath, can't pick up the first down. We're going to go for this. It's midfield, 4th and 2. I think we can make something happen here. We have the best playmakers in the league, and you can be aggressive when you have that, and that's jumped. I thought I didn't know the route. That was stupid. I thought Bowers was going to stop and do a little hook in. Did not, and that one's on me. 2 weeks in a row. Bad interceptions. Got to clean it up. 1st and 10 for Dallas. And broken tackle from Warren saves them a big TFL. Cole Bishop there initially to try to make the stop, but couldn't. It'll be 2nd and 8. Just got to move on. When you make a dumb interception, or when you throw a dumb interception, excuse me, that's a really nice play. Big play there for Dallas, and they're moving the ball well today. It is the rookie receiver on that one, but when you make a mistake like that, you just got to move on to the next play. It's as simple as that. You can't linger in this league. And Zach Gatson with a nice play on Warren there. 2nd and 8. We'll continue to try to send heat, although I don't love... yeah. Okay, well, it worked out. We got in immediately, Woolen with the coverage, but I don't love Fitzsimmons on slot receivers in man coverage. It's just not a good recipe for success. And we'll try a cover 4. And good coverage down the field. Richardson going to take off again. Can we hit him? Man, he is just so dangerous with his legs. We're going to have to leave a spy. It's just... Richardson can't get away that time. It is Terrion Arnold off the edge with a sack from a CB blitz play. We'll try to confuse Richardson a little bit here with some coverages. This is a cover 6 Willie, one of my favorite plays in the game. 2nd and 12. It'll be a run this time. Warren got a lot of room up to the 7. Cowboys are doing a nice job of balancing out the run and the pass, and we'll move to a 4-3 and try to make some plays defensively. I'm going to try a safety blitz. Man coverage in the red zone is risky. And that's the reason there. Nice play from the receiver to hang on to that football. We're in trouble here, man. This is not a good situation to be in. We're going to pinch our line and send pressure. Wide open, off the line of scrimmage is Mike Gesicki for the touchdown. Cowboys going to go up 14-3, man. Oof, we're in a rough spot. Can we overcome? We haven't had to do a lot of fighting back this season other than week 1 a little bit, but just here and there, we've had our spots, but this is a whole different animal, man. We're away, we're down 2 scores, 2 touchdowns, and we're not moving the ball well offensively. James Grant will return. Can't make anybody miss. Take over the 21. Not great field position. And we're going to have to be much more aggressive on this drive. We haven't really done a lot of airing the ball out today. That's going to have to change. And we can't even... Yeah, nobody's open. It's going to be a big sack, minus 10 yards. And we can't hold the ball that long against this team. They just have too good of a D-line. 2nd and 20. We're going to try to chuck it up for Grant. I mean, we just haven't done that a lot. James Grant nearly made the catch, got his hands on the football. Good coverage down the field by number 0. Much respect there. And it'll be 3rd and forever. This is a tough spot to be in, man. 3rd and 20. We're taking a shot for Bowers deep down the field. On a cornerback, Bowers can't make the catch, and sacks are drive killers for a reason. That's it right there. We cannot afford to go down 3 scores here. We have to get a stop. We're going to punt it away. Even a field goal does a lot for them here. He makes it 2 touchdowns instead of 11 points. And gotta make some plays, man. It's about time we have to do that. Richardson gonna look to take off, and I purposely spied there for a reason. How can he not fumble that? Richardson with another rush. Bone-breaking hit from one of the secondary players, but didn't matter. I'm gonna be aggressive defensively. We have to. Warren up the gut. Picks up the 1st down. That'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Cowboys are in the driver's seat big time. I think we received to start the game, so this is not a favorable position. Offensively, we're kind of a mess. Having trouble blocking the Cowboys, and I like man coverage against this formation here. Underneath, nice coverage from Wiggins. Warner there for the hit, but they're just doing a good job. They're executing well. I can't really say anything much other than that. 2nd and 6. We got to watch Richardson. We really do. He's going to take off again. Too slow with Hall. Somebody force a fumble. Oh my goodness, dude. This guy's so annoying. I'm getting annoyed. It really is annoying. 1st and 10. Once again here. Now from the 26. They're beyond field goal range. This is TD territory. It is a running back screen. Warren takes it up to the 14, and we're having trouble. In my opinion, we're having trouble up front. We really are. Richardson looking to take a shot to the end zone. He's got his man Shakir, who beat Bullock in man coverage, and they're going to go up 21-3. This is a blowout in Dallas. We have 48 seconds and 3 timeouts to make something happen, but we really have to quickly. We need some big chunk plays, and the Cowboys are covering down the field well. They read the scouting report, man. We are a deep throwing team, and they have answered that. They have answered it. They are holding all the cards here. They're pressing up on Harrison here. I can't even get the throw off, man. I can't get rid of it. We'll take a timeout. 2nd and 24. We need something big. I mean, we need a big play in the worst way. We're going to streak Grant up the seam. And I'm going to try. I'm going to try it. That's a pick. Yep. Yep. I tried. I can't. I would have tried it again. Benson is a good receiving back. This is a disaster, an absolute disaster. Somebody make a play defensively, please. Richardson on a comeback route. He's got 3 touchdowns through the air today and 1. No, he didn't rush for 1, but he probably will. Oh my goodness, folks. Through the middle of the field, Cowboys now in field goal range. Gesicki popped by Fitzsimmons, but not before they get into territory. They're close. They're certainly close. My goodness. Nightmare start in Dallas. And Trayvon Walker with another big sack. That's actually a big play. Keeps him out of field goal range. It's still a 3-possession game, so field goal isn't the end of the world here, I guess, but... Oh, no, that would make it 4 possessions, and... Richardson going to throw it away. Got 12 seconds left and no timeouts. So really we should start, no timeouts. We should really start looking at prevent defense here. And they're going to run the football. Interesting call. Yeah, we'll live with that. I mean, they can't spike it, so that's the end of the half. And couldn't get the field goal off. So listen, we have a mountain to climb in the second half. Not sure we're going to be able to do that. And we will kick off to start the half. We need a turnover or something big here, man. Like a quick stop. Offense has been totally out of whack today. Can't block the line. We just got to be aggressive here defensively. That's, and also playing man coverage against Richardson is tough because it's, you can't... Trayvon Walker with his 3rd sack of the day. That is so good. 2nd and 17. Holy cow. 2nd and 17 for Dallas. And Richardson taking off again. This time, it's Quinnen Williams getting home. Defensive line putting the team on their back here. Will it be enough? Play over top, pass commit, just nothing stupid, Richardson taking off, got his man, but it'll be 4th and 7. Great control of the trenches on that possession. Stops Dallas in their tracks. And that was such a big 2 plays from Williams and Trayvon Walker, who is having himself a day. 3 sacks today. James Grant on the return. Gets it up to the 14, and we need a quick score to lift our spirits. It'll still be 2 possessions after that. I don't know that we can run the football for the rest of the game. I'm going to be honest with you guys. 1st and 10, let's just try to get something positive here. Got Bowers on the flat route, picks up 3. That's what we were looking for. Something positive, right? 2nd and 7. And I'm going to throw it away. There were options for sure. Primarily Leggett and James Grant down the field, but they were dangerous throws, and we can't afford those. This is a big 3rd down. Pass broken up. It was cover 2, and that was the right play call for that situation. Do we even punt it? I guess we have to, right? I don't think so. I just don't think we're going to have time to score all those points. We need a conversion here, or we're done. Brock Bowers through the seam, makes the catch. Oh, my goodness. It was a terrible throw. I didn't lead it the right way. Thank goodness Brock Bowers has some abilities. Marvin Harrison out of the backfield, wide open. I love that formation. I really do. It's really good for short stuff. We're going to continue to roll with it here. Grant on a streak. And I think we might have him. No, it's underthrown. If I lobbed it, maybe. 3rd and 3, another 3rd down. Jeez, the pressure is on, man. We have not felt this pressure all year yet. And I don't want to lose to the Cowboys. I'll tell you that right now. And I'm going to keep Marvin Harrison in the backfield. This is such a good formation for short completions. And he's open again on that little hook route. Gets a block, and he'll be up to around midfield. And listen, we're working down the field here. Play action. Benson. Just didn't really run in stride with that catch. 2nd and 9. And Bowers, nice catch over the middle of the field, puts us at the 39. We're taking a bit of clock. I mean, we're taking quite a long time, but we are moving. I mean, I can't really complain, right? Brock Bowers open on his route, and he's going to have a walk-in touchdown, no, a dive-in touchdown towards the pylon. So good at run after the catch. You cannot leave him man-to-man on a linebacker or a safety. That is going to be the result every single time as long as I see it and Caleb makes the throw. And that's a big touchdown. We took a few minutes off the clock, like I said, but it'll be 21-10, and we are now within 2 scores, just like that. So this is a much more attainable goal within 2 scores. I'm so glad we went for it. Can you imagine if we punted it? But we still need our defense to make something happen. And I was going for the football there a couple times with a few different special teamers. And Trayvon Walker, please continue to get home, man. 3 sacks today. Can he continue to wreak havoc? This is a run to the outside, and Warren runs backwards. No forward progress that time. Going to be a 3-yard loss. Defense is balling right now. This is certainly going to be a pass, right? 2nd and 13. Bunch formation for the Cowboys. It will be a pass. Had somebody through the seam. And good tackle from Fitzsimmons. This is a big 3rd and 1 for the clock. If we can get off the field here, we're going to pinch our line and try to get some pressure, but Gesicki wide open off the line of scrimmage. Didn't think they'd throw that. I really didn't. That is unfortunate. We're going to mix up the play calls and the coverages and send some different looks at Richardson. This is a 3-4 defense. Nice play from Alan Stanley. Could be the first tackle of his career. We'll go with the nickel look. And again, yeah, no, I can't play man coverage, man. It's just got to be cover 3. It really has to be. Over the middle. Big shot from D'Angelo Hall on the receiver. Another 3rd and 1. Got to get off the field, dude. It really is as simple as that. Can we get off the field? We are pinching the line once again. I hope it's a run. Probably not going to be. It is a run. We can't stop Warren. They're running the ball well today, man. And they're just taking this whole entire 3rd quarter down. Not much of an answer from us defensively. We got a couple 3rd and shorts and couldn't get off the field. And D'Angelo Hall with a big TFL that time will make it 2nd and 13. And they're knocking on the door of field goal range, which is kind of important. Let me think about this. We'll have 17. No, so actually no, because 3 doesn't do them any good here. I don't think, right? 2nd and 13. And that can't happen. It just can't happen. Probably should have went man coverage on that. And now we have to blitz every play. Cole Bishop there with a nice play that time. But I think they're going to win this football game. Like, we just can't stop them in a timely manner. We just, we put ourselves in too much of a hole. And with this Excel clock, every play is super important. And it's going to be a pass, but listen, that's a big play. 3rd and 17 now for Richardson. As we talked about, I don't think 3 does them any good because it'll be a 14-point lead. We'll still be down 2 scores. So if they just run this football, which they actually might, I'm going to go with man coverage. Nope, it is going to be a throw. Richardson gonna throw it away, and they will kick a field goal. That's a big stop. Keeps the game within our grasp. I mean, we still need to score really quick and then get a stop and then score again, and that'll only tie the game. But listen, I like our odds. I really do. This team of any with James Grant and these burners on offense, we got big play potential. We can score quick, and we'll go with some 5 wide stuff here. 5 wide just works really well in this playbook. It absolutely does. And you know what? I'll tell you what. There's no safety help over the top. And BJ Coffey's wide open. Can he run after the catch? Nope, but it is a first down. Nice pickup there and gets out of bounds as well. But I'm telling you, they're pressing these slot guys. And Harrison, one off the line. He might have a touchdown. Harrison in a foot race with a safety in a corner. Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to put this game within 1 score. You can't press our guys, man. You just can't do it, especially with 1 safety up top. He's just going to run by him. Marvin Harrison keeping this game alive. About as quick a score as you can get. 2-play drive there, 72 yards. That is such a big play, man. Now if we get a stop, there's so much time. We don't have to worry. We're not even close to having to worry about timeouts or anything like that. So we just keep them out of field goal range, which again, this is what I'm worried about our defense in this game more than our offense. We have struggled to stop this team all day, but at least we have a chance. That's all you can really ask for. We're going to go in a 4-3. Just cover 3 is not working. Man coverage is not good against this team. It is a run, and the big guys up front, 99 problems, and Quinton Williams with a big TFL. The line has been eating all day again. 2nd and 13. They're spreading the team out this time. And it is quick slants over the middle. Nice play from Gatson there, but it'll be a 3rd and 6. This is the most pivotal 3rd and 6 that you're going to find. Pass commit. Come on. Somebody. Over the middle. Gatson can't force the ball out. That's a big conversion. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff open. I got to go more man coverage here. Like, I just got to trust our guys. It's hard to with the way they've been throwing it, but they've been running good routes. It's hard, but you have to. Richardson down the field. Big play. I mean, we got to get it home a little bit quicker than that, no? We're going to try to send a blitz at Richardson this time. It is a run. And nice sideline to sideline tackle by Kalen Bullock. But this is where you start getting into more of like, do we take our timeouts kind of territory. Under center, probably going to be a run. It is a stretch right. Tariq Woolen there, can't wrap up, but Kalen Bullock, another big-time tackle. 3rd and 4. I'm just going to trust our guys, man. If we can't get home really quickly, we just got to get to Richardson real quick. And Gesicki beats Fitzsimmons in coverage, and, man, Richardson is just dicing us up. That's probably going to have to be the game unless we get a turnover, because it's going to be 2 scores. Turnover is really the only thing that can help us in this spot. That pretty much was the game. We're going to run commit and try to strip the football or something. And I'm not even going to take a timeout yet, but what I am going to do is go strip ball aggressive and really just hope that we can get a hand on the football. Can't do it that time. 3rd and 13, and I'm not going to call our 3rd timeout. I'm not. We're going to run commit. I like the idea of taking 2 timeouts because we have to call one there, but if we don't block this kick, it's as good as over. Darby can't get home, and that's going to do it. It's going to be an onside kick. That's what it's going to come down to. I don't think we've gotten one or haven't really attempted many anyway, but if we can score quick and then onside kick, we still have a timeout, but it needs to be an insta score like we've been doing a couple times today. But this is a rough game, man. D'Angelo Hall injured. We're going to substitute him. Sending James Grant on a streak. Down the field for Grant. Makes the catch. Run after catch. And we're going to save our timeout. That's a big play, though. Williams activated in the zone. Come on, come on. Hurry up, guys. Can't be intercepted. Grant can't make the catch. And that is actually kind of big that Caleb Williams is activated right now. And I'm going to send Harrison on a post route through the middle of the defense here. Coffee makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown. So listen, we saved our timeout. We still have 24 seconds. Why can't we just do that every drive? You might be asking. Every time we're in a clutch situation where we need to score right now, we do it. It's like, I don't know what happens to me in my brain, but I do well in those situations. And then when it's like, first few drives of the game, I always stall out. But here we have an opportunity to get an onside kick. We're going to try it. I don't know, man. And they're just, yeah. We touched it. I thought I don't know. I should have put more power. I don't know what was really my goal there, but they're going to win the game. I do find a moral victory in the fact that we nearly made the comeback. I can't really be too upset. We didn't play very well. For stretches throughout the game, we played really poor. For a couple stretches at the end of the game, we played really well. Our defense couldn't get stops when it mattered. Our offense couldn't score at the beginning of the game. We took 3 points into the half or whatever. So this one's on us. We didn't get BS or anything. We lost this game more than they won this game, in my opinion, but give them credit. They did play well. That is going to be the final game in the video. We'll look at some stats here, but listen, can't hate. Richardson played near perfect football today. Took a lot of sacks, though. 20 for 23, 3 touchdowns. You're going to lose most of those games. We threw 2 picks. They did not turn the football over. It just is what it is, right? Richardson had a couple big runs. I thought I could get him to fumble one of those times, but that's the only, where you might say, well, that's kind of BS. But receiving wise, Khalil Shakir was dominant. Mike Gesicki was big. Brock Bowers was big. Marvin Harrison had some amazing plays. BJ Coffee with a big touchdown, first receiving touchdown of his career at the end of the game. He's been such a weapon in the pass game. He's just been so good. Manny Dalton had a few big catches. James Grant with a 52-yarder. It's just unacceptable, man. We can't come out here and play around with our food like that. Kalen Bullock with 11 total. Trayvon Walker with 3 sacks was incredible. Quinn Williams had a sack. We had a ton of sacks today, Nick Bosa had a few, but Cole Bishop had one. Quinn Williams, Terry Arnold, we were just getting home all day. And, Trayvon Walker and Quinn Williams with 3 TFLs apiece. Jonathan Warner with 2 TFLs. He is making a case for a breakout superstar if I've ever seen it, man. He's got TFLs every week. He's had a couple sacks so far this season. Gatson with 2 TFLs. Hall with 2 TFLs. Just couldn't get anything going, through the turnover department. And what did I say before the game? When we win the turnover battle, we win the game. It's just as simple as that. We did not today. I gotta be better at my decision making, and I gotta score points when I don't need to score points. Does that make sense? When it's not, we're gonna find out right here if BJ Coffee's a superstar or not, because when you reach 75, you might get an ability, I think. And he is not, it doesn't appear, but that's all right. He's had quite the year already through the air and on the ground anyway, so maybe we can get him up to superstar. But my point is that whenever we're backed up against the wall with a 2-minute situation and it seems impossible, we always score within seconds. But then on the regular drives, I don't know what it is. I don't take them serious. I don't know what it is. I call the wrong plays, but we never score on those, or we only get 3 on those, or we turn it over on those. It just can't happen. We need to be more consistent on both sides of the football, not only week to week, but within the game itself, quarter to quarter, possession to possession. We just have to be more consistent across the board. And that's what killed us this week. Cowboys now 2-1 as well. We're losing the division now because of that game. That's actually a big game. You might think, well, it's early and you're 2-1. That's a good record. You beat 2 playoff teams, but this is a division loss. We now have the Giants next week, who, we're going to end the video here, but that's a big loss, man. And then the Colts and the Commanders, our schedule does not get any easier. The Cardinals coming up, we're a playoff team. Cowboys again, who we just lost to. The Rams beat us before, I think, and then the Giants would get like, the schedule is not easy. Saints have always been in the playoffs. That's our last game of the season. Got to be more consistent, but this was a fun video and it was a lot of up and down, and I like that. I like when it's a roller coaster. That's what this, if I had to sum up this franchise in one word, it would be roller coaster. Like every season just seems to be constantly shifting, what the results are and what the season looks like. So this is no different here. This season has been really up and down, like kind of weird so far. First game was an absolute shootout, game of the century. Second game was defensive, slugfest. And then, this game was kind of a mix of both. I don't know. Either way, hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you leave a like. I will be posting a couple of these a week until we finish season 3. And then I'm considering going back to the full season 1 video format. You guys have to let me know, in the comments if you like this version, multi-week increment video version of the series rather than the full season and then one-off season video, dynamic or formula or whatever it is. So format is the word I'm looking for. Let me know all that down in the comment section. Let me know what I could be doing better to be more consistent down in the comment section. What'd you think of the video? And, as always, subscribe for more Eagles franchise content. There will be several of these a week. So that's my goal anyway. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic rest of your day today. I will catch you in the next episode of season 3. This has been Eagles franchise season 3, week 2 and 3, episode 2 of season 3. A lot of numbers here. And it was a ton of fun and I can't wait to record more. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for anything you do. Like, comment, subscribe. Those are the 3 biggest things you can do. And you guys have been really enjoying these videos from everything I could tell on my end. So I love making them. It's been such a blast for me. I can't wait to make more. And believe me, this series is not going anywhere. So if you're worried about that, just don't. Madden 26 is going to come out. That's when this series is going to stop, and we'll start a new one or maybe a couple new ones. But until Madden 26 comes out, this franchise is going to keep going and keep going. And maybe even after, we could still continue to do this franchise and a Madden 26 franchise. But I don't want to lose this franchise just because Madden 26 comes out. I don't know. Let me know all your thoughts. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic rest of your day today. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. I love you. I appreciate you. More Eagles franchise to come. This is your boy DeHave, and as always, peace.